नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
Hare Krishna, Hari Bol. So, I am very happy to see so many of you today morning coming for Mangalarti enthusiastically and for chanting, then Guru Puja and then Bhagavatam class. Thank you so much for your enthusiastic participation. So, we are discussing from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 1, Text 50. Above the five senses of perception, the five working senses and the five objects of senses is the mind, which is 16th element. Above the mind is the 17th element, the soul, the living being himself, who in cooperation with the other 16 enjoys material world alone. The living being enjoys three kinds of situations, namely happy, distressful, and mixed. So here there is a discussion between the Vishnudutas and Yamdutas. And Yamdutas were questioned by the Vishnudutas about what do you understand about Dharma. That you are trying to arrest this Ajamil who has become purified. So what is Dharma? They are questioning them. On what basis you are taking your actions? So they are also very intelligent. They are speaking what they have heard from Yamraj. So in the beginning they said, Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavad pranitam. Not this, I think. They said, Veda praniti dharma. Dharmam, Dharma tu sakshat pranitam, that comes later on. I think that is Yamraj speaks probably. But they speak, Veda pranihito dharmo, Yamaduta uchu, Yad adharmas tat viparyeha. Vedo narayana sakshat, Swayam bhuriti shushruma. Shushruma means we have heard it from authority. From whom we have heard? Yamraj. What is Veda? What is Dharma? The supreme cause of all causes, Narayan, is situated in own abode, spiritual world. Sorry. The Yamdutas replied, that which is prescribed in the Vedas, constitute Dharma, the religious principles, and the opposite of that is irreligion. The Vedas are directly the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayan, and are self-born. This we have heard from Yamraj. So when they were questioned what is Dharma, Srila Prabhupada says, the servants of Yamraj replied quite properly. They did not manufacture principles of Dharma, religion or religion. Instead, they explained that they have heard it from the authority Yamraj. Mahajana Yena Gatha Sapanta. Yamraj is considered one of the Mahajan. And Mahabharata also says that Dharmasya Tattvam Nihitam Guhaya. To understand what is exact Dharma is very confidential. And not by speculation one can understand. Those who are speculators, they keep on speculating, but they cannot understand what real Dharma is. Tarko pratishto shutayo vibhinno. Tarka pratishta means those keep on argument, tarka, speculation. Those who are not devotees but want to understand spiritual subject matters, they are called mental speculators, Muni. So this Muni is Tarko Prashishto Shutayo Bhivinno Nasa Matir Munim Nasa Munir Matim Nabhinnam. Muni means one who has a different opinion from other opinions. That's called Muni. not Narad Muni. This is a mental speculator Muni. Narad Muni is a citizen Muni. His intelligence is fixed at lotus feet of Krishna. So this Muni is basically keep on speculating about what is dharma, what is spiritual life, what is truth about this life. And they can never come to the right conclusion. In fact, every Muni means he should have a different opinion than other Muni. Matir na bhinnam. Mati, his matam na bhinnam. His mat means opinion should be different than other Muni. Then he is considered Muni. In today's world, if you want to get PhD, then you have to show that I am unique. Nobody has done it. I have a different opinion. And then you have to prove your opinion. So this world of Maya, there are different philosophies Maya creates. And she also creates an illusion that everybody feels that my opinion is the right opinion. And then he tried to justify it. That's how this material world, Maya, gives everybody comfortable feeling that whatever they are thinking is right. But the result of that is what? Chaos and sufferings in individually and collective lives of the people. Because the dharma or actual truth is not subjected to opinions of the people. Just like in a country, there are laws made by the government so that everybody can live happily. That is the purpose of good government. So these laws are made by the government, not by the public. Government or king makes the laws. Not I can manufacture my own laws in my house. Right? Like for example, if you have to drive a vehicle, then you have to keep on left while driving. That is made by whom? By traffic department or transport department. They have made this law. I cannot say, in my house I have made law, I will drive on the right side. So sometimes people say me out of pride like that. Sometime back, some 3 boys many years back, IIT boys drunk, and they were going in a highway, Bombay highway, and driving on the right side, opposite. What happened? They got head-on collision, died, 3 of them, driving on the right side of the road. So, if one acts like this, whimsically break the laws, even in this world also we suffer. Similarly, there are God's laws made for everyone's welfare, and that is called dharma. Is mentioned here. Veda praniti dharma. Dharma means God's instructions. Simple. And that is mentioned in the Vedas. All the schools of the spiritual, bona fide schools, they accept the Vedas are not man-made. They are coming since the dawn of creation. That means before creation also they were there. So that is accepted. And what Vedas contain is a law code of dharma, or they are instructions of the Supreme Lord. In fact, other places said that they are the breath of Narayan. The next verse only I think said. So he says, Vedo Narayana Sakshat. Vedo Narayana Sakshat means they are the Sakshat Narayan. Or Dharmam, so Sakshat Bhagavad Pranitam. Pranitam means whatever the Bhagavad, the Lord has spoken or Narayan has spoken. In fact, they are also considered the breathing of Narayan. In purport, Prabhupada mentioned this. The breath of Narayan. Yes, here he says. Srila Madhvacharya the original Acharya of those who belong to the Madhva Sampradaya says, Vedanam Prathamo Vakta Harir eva yato vibhu. The transcendental words of Vedas emanated from the mouth of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, the Vedic principles should be understood to be the Vaishnava principles because Vishnu is the origin of the Vedas. The Vedas contains nothing besides the instructions of the Vishnu. And one who follows the Vedic principles is a Vaishnava. Vaishnava is not a member of manufactured community of this material world. Vaishnava is the real knower of the Vedas as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. Vedesya sarver aham avivedyam. So I said a Vaishnava is not the member of manufactured community of this material world. We also should be very alert about this, that we should not consider simply be proud that I belong to this particular institution, therefore I am Vaishnava. How much we are acquainted with the Vaishnava principles and how much we are following in our lives, that will make us Vaishnava. Not simply rubber stamping, external connecting to some organization and becoming member, paying some money. That doesn't make you Vaishnava. It's clearly mentioned here that Prabhupada says that Vaishnava is not the member of a manufactured community of this material world. Our community or organization is formed to learn what is the actual instruction of the Supreme Lord. Not just another organization, everybody forming their organization in this material world. The purpose of the society is to become Krishna conscious, become Narayan conscious and understand what Narayan wants, Krishna wants us to do. Not manufactured by our own concocted ideas. So therefore reading Srila Prabhupada's books is so important in our lives. Unfortunately in today's world people are hearing from so many other sources in the YouTube and in the television channels and other places that they don't have time to read Srila Prabhupada's books. And therefore they get confused. This Baba, that Baba, this person, that person, And they don't have intelligence also what they are speaking is right or not. Because they don't know what is right. These Yamadutas, they are quoting that we have heard it from the Narayan, from the Yamaduta, Yamaraj, authority. Yamaraj is called one of the Mahajan. Swayambhu, Narada, Shambhu, Kumaro, Kabilo, Manu. So Vedic principles of Dharma can be understood by Mahajana Yena Gathasa Pantha. By following the instructions or directions or the footsteps of the Mahajanas. By hearing all these different sources, it can be a good entertainment. Because these people are expert speakers many times. Expert in juggling the words also. And they can be having thousands of followers. Kali Yuga, if you speak very eloquently, nicely, and very loudly, and very confidently, then people believe that your speaking is right. They don't have intelligence to judge or to examine also because they don't have knowledge of scriptures. They are blind already. Spiritually they are blind. Kalo nashta drushamesha. In Kali Yuga, everybody's vision is covered by the darkness of the Kali Yuga. Godlessness. Kalo nashta drushamesha. Mention it. Kalo nashta drushamesha. The Bhagavat is coming as like a sun to give the light in the Krishna in the form of Bhagavatam. But then Bhagavatam has to be understood from the Bhagavatas. Bhagavata Padiya Bhagavata Sthani, not from the professional people. Then we can understand Bhagavatam. So, this accepting the Guru, Sadhu and Shastra will give us the proper directions. So we need to be educated in the spiritual teachings. Otherwise, it will happen like the blind person following another blind. A blind man says, "Come on, I will show you the path," to other blind people. Loudly shouting, "I know." But these blind people don't have eyes to see that he is blind. Bhagavatam gives very good example. Anda yathanda upagiyamana tepesha santrya urudam nibaddha. Kali Yuga people are blind spiritually, and one blind man, he is also spiritually blind. He says, I know. And through YouTube and all these medias, they will keep on shouting loudly. You know? And then other people believe. What he's saying is right because YouTube is saying like this. Shastras are telling or not, they don't have intelligence. So this is the problem. Why people get confused unnecessarily? Because they hear from so many sources and they don't have intelligence to understand what is right and what is wrong. So it is said, Sanatana Goswami also says that Bahushastra Bahuvakya Chitta Brahma hai. Even if you read too many scriptures without proper guidance of a guru, still your mind can be confused. What to speak of hearing from so many sources, ChatGPTs and others, you know, as if they are like guru, spiritual master. Whatever they say is right. How a person cheats? A person makes you sure that he is very authorized. Nowadays, this cyber crime is happening, and so many people are getting cheated. Lakhs of rupees they are losing. How the people get confidence so that people voluntarily they transfer their monies? Because they make you convinced that what they are saying is right. By their word juggleries or by their ideas. They will give you some truths and earn your trust. And then they cheat you. Similarly, all these medias and everything, they are giving you some truths. Whatever your material experience is there, they convince you that what you are speaking is right. And once you get confidence, then they give all bogus ideas, cheat you. That is how the cheaters cheat. Cheaters make a first they earn your confidence that they are right, they are honest like that. And once you develop that confidence, gambling means what happens? Gambling means a person who, a gambler, in charge, he makes sure that you get faith. And once he sees that you got faith, then he starts cheating. Till that time he will be honest what is presenting. So therefore, in spiritual path, one has to be very alert to find out first a genuine spiritual master and hear from him. And when you hear, first you examine the bona fide spiritual master. And when you are convinced, then you surrender to him. Not that still you go on hearing from so many people to constantly check whether what is right. You know, that means it's not surrender, confused. Once you understand that here is a place I am getting the right knowledge, then hear from Srila Prabhupada and our Acharyas. Why to go and find out so many places? Even if they are supposed bona fide, still is not appropriate. What to speak of they are not bona fide? Because if they are bona fide, then you have to ask first your guru or this Srila Prabhupada whether it is appropriate for me to go and there. Like a chaste wife, she can respect others, but when it's a follow, she follows her husband. That is the meaning of chastity, loyalty to parampara. And what to speak of, you go to the unbona fide people, then you will destroy our faith in what is a genuine by such association. So here also it is said that the living entity in this world, the whole setup is very, very complicated. Material world is. Krishna consciousness is very simple, but we are caught up into such a complicated situation. Our body itself is so complicated that we don't have control over it. Swadhinana ekaya. Our material body has been, you don't know also, we are not taught also what is there inside the body. Even the gross aspect of this material body is very difficult to understand. This doctors, very difficult for them also. There are experts For one part of the body, there are people who spend 25 years, 30 years to get a degree. I have met some doctors like that. A retina specialist, not eye specialist. Earlier eye specialist was there. One of the part of your body is eye. Now within the eye there are so many different specialists. Retina specialist. They are very highly paid for it. Retina. Their expert is only retina. They don't know anything about other part of your body much. They are expert in operating. ENT surgeon. In ENT also now there are so many others. To understand function of kidney, function of heart, function of everywhere there are experts. Cardiologist, nephrologist, and orthopedic, skin specialist. Skin also there is a different people. And still they don't understand what is exactly about the body. One nephrologist was telling me, nephrologist means kidney specialist. In India at that time, I think some 10 years back he was studying, he said only 6 people they get selected. 6 people out of in India for this particular kidney specialist as a MD, he was telling at that time. Huh? DM, sorry, not MD, DM. After MD, that is DM. So you have MBBS, and you do MD or MS, and then there is after MS or MD, there is a DM. Then they like PhD in that, right? So he was one of the 6 people. He was telling that as I am studying kidney, such complicated it is. Kidney has such powerful functionality that if you put some food in your mouth, eat some fruits, because fruit contains certain chemicals and they immediately get absorbed in your body fast. Many fruits are like pre-digested food. As soon as you eat something, you feel very fresh also, right? Some Mosambi or like that, some fruit juices, they immediately energizes you. So they get absorbed very fast in your body. But their kidney immediately detects, as soon as you put food in your mouth, the signal goes to kidney and kidney immediately start functioning to remove certain chemicals out, to balance those chemicals in your body. And he said if it doesn't happen, you will die, he said. So kidney has filters to detect what to filter or not what to filter. Intelligent filter, he said. There are thousands of filters in kidney. And this is a recent what we have come to know, he said. And there are more functions of these filters which you are unaware, he said. Everywhere such a complicated arrangement is there, complex arrangement. Or you can say such a powerful arrangement is there. Very difficult to understand with our material intelligence, even the gross things. What to speak of subtle things? Beyond this gross body, there is a subtle body, is mentioned here. The subtle bodies, senses also are considered. The senses is not this apparatus, eyes and the ability to see the eye, to see. That is actually the sense, what you call senses. Different knowledge acquiring elements. It is not this gross eye. There is subtle aspect also. That's why the Indriyani Paranyahur. Indriyani Paranyahur means this Indriya senses are superior to the gross dull matter. And this body is made up of dull matter. And the Indriyas are subtle. And then Indriyabhya Parammana. The superior or more subtler than these Indriyas is mind. Here also is mentioned. There are 5 senses of perception, 5 working senses and 5 sense objects. This is how the body is made up of. And then the mind is 16th element. Sometimes it's called another sense because it's center point of all the senses. When you say senses, knowledge acquiring senses 5, then the mind is considered 6th. Here the 15 objects are mentioned, 5 sense perception organs, 5 working senses and 5 sense objects of the senses, and then the mind, 16th element. And beyond the mind is Again, the buddhi and the soul. Here it's not, buddhi is not mentioned, but the soul is mentioned. And this is not known to the modern man. Modern man only knows the gross aspect of this material body. They think mind is just another function of the brain, and there is so much argument is going on still. What is mind? Although there are so many experiments performed where it says mind is different than the brain. If you see the NCERT books now, they mention it that mind is not the brain. Mind can affect the brain, and brain can affect the mind, but the mind is different than the brain entity, which Gita already is mentioning. So this whole material world at every level is so complex, and here we are caught up and trying to enjoy alone. Kutastha. What is it? What is the word? Ekastha. Ekastha. Ekastha means in this whole complex material world, which is considered sometimes like an ocean of birth and death, is a creation and destruction happening. We are caught up into this whole cycle of getting born and dying again. The experience of this material world, the living entity as a soul is having, because we have got this the bodily consciousness. We think we are material body, and this is because we have forgotten Krishna. We are trying to create our own concocted ideas about life, and therefore we have rejected the Lord's instructions. The reason for falling to this material world is not listening to this Lord's instructions. It is mentioned here. Why one falls to this material world? Because of disobeying the Lord, Supreme Lord, one is put into material conditions, and then he tries to improve his situation in a concocted way, not desiring to follow the instructions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The cause for this fall down in the material world is rejecting the instructions of the Supreme Lord. And the cause for continuing this material world is we are still not accepting his instructions, which are for our own benefit. This original sin Bible mentions is the disobeying or envying the Lord. And out of envy one disobeys. That is called original sin, first sin. And that sinful tendency is still there now also. That we have difficulty to follow the Lord's instructions. It is said that allegorical story in the Bible about forbidden apple. Forbidden, the Lord had forbidden them from eating the apple. Although the whole kingdom of God was full of all varieties of trees, nice garden, lakes, fruits, vegetables, everything was there, mentioned like that. But then they were enjoying nicely, Adam and Eve, man and woman. But then the snake of Maya, the snake came there. And the snake said, "Oh, you are enjoying everything, but you are actually not enjoying everything." He said, "There is the one thing you are not enjoying in your life." What is that? In that apple. This corner of this place is apple tree. So that you are not enjoyed. So they said, "No, because we will not. God has told not to enjoy that, except that you can enjoy everything." Then he said, "But you don't know how tasty it is. You have not enjoyed such things. It is such a great taste. And moreover, you know why God has told not to enjoy that? Because by eating that apple, you will become God. And God doesn't want competitors. And that is so tasty. It's more tasty than everything else. This is how the conditioned soul, in the material world also, we are see everything is there, nicely made. Still, somebody comes and says, you have not enjoyed liquor. There are so many fruits, juices, there are so many things are there. But then he thinks, oh, really, I have not done something. There are hundreds of juices, mango juice, pineapple juice, and nobody talks about it, right? But you have to do something like this. You have not done it, you have not enjoyed your life, come on. You are deprived of such great pleasure. That's how they advertise. They have to advertise so much about this smoking and drinking, which is harmful. But still, a person also thinks, maybe I am not happy in my life because I have not enjoyed that. There is so much freedom for the fish in the water. He has so much food to eat, but something is dangling in the air. Then he is crazy for that. He thinks if I don't enjoy that, then I will not be happy. That's the whole advertisements are like that only. If you don't enjoy this, and everything they have woman or man. For woman there is a man and man there is a woman. As if that if you get this particular thing, then you will get that woman or man also enjoyment. That's how they advertise, right? Everywhere there is shaving blade also there is a lady. Right? So this advertisement is simply hook, like a fish is hooked into that hook. Similarly, it's like that only. Kali Yuga has so much advertisements that bombards our senses so much that we think, I am not going to become happy unless I enjoy this particular thing. Similarly, the snake also created that kind of feeling in them that, you are actually not happy unless you enjoy that. Although they were happy, but he made them feel that. So that's how this Maya is. Then somehow that he convinced this Eve, a lady, and she got convinced. She went to eat the apple, and when she started eating, it was appearing tasty. And she called Adam also. Come, you also join. So both of them ate. And after eating that, soon they heard the sound of God entering into that garden. His footsteps sounded coming. They were alert immediately. God is coming. And when God came into that place, they were hiding behind the bushes. Then he asked, where are you? Why you are hiding? He said, we are feeling ashamed to come in front of you. He said, what happened? Did you eat the apple? Why you are not coming in front of me? He said, yes, we ate the apple. Then he said, then you are not fit to stay here. Because you have got a desire to do something else. Then he said, go to the earth now. And then they were sent to the earth to get purified from that consciousness. So this is considered original sin. Gita also says that Ichcha Dvesha Samuthena, the independent desire, and Dvesh, the envy. Whimsical desires, breaking the laws of God, and then the Lord becomes our enemy. Why not to do these things? But intelligence, they don't have intelligence whether it is good for me or not. Now there are so many people question, why not intoxications? Why not meat eating? Why not gambling? Because when they become addicted to such things, they cannot see how it is harming them and harming others. They cannot think also that by killing animals, eating flesh, they are causing so much pain to the animals. Because of their addiction to that, they are not able to think the other person's sufferings. That is the nature of the lust. Once one have this addiction for certain things, you become blind. Avrittam jnanam ete. They don't understand this simple aspect that I am getting pain. It is said that the butcher, when he sharpens his knife, he is very, very careful while checking, because he knows it will cut my finger, bleed it, pain will come. But he is so self-centered. He is understanding it's painful, but he is not able to understand how it's painful to the animals. He doesn't feel for it. That's the nature of this. The killing, animal killing. That's why Bhagavatam says that those who are animal killers, they cannot understand the Bhagavad principles also. Nivritta tarsher upagiyamana bhavaushidhim chotra manobhiramat ka uttama shloka gunanavadat puman virajyat vina pashugnat. Pashugnat means those who are accustomed to killing animals. It's very difficult. But of course, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy is like Srila Prabhupada went and by power of Hare Krishna Mahamantra he awakened the right consciousness even from such people's hearts. That's the power of the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But usually it's difficult. Those who are accustomed and addicted to such things, it's very difficult to understand. So, what we were speaking before? This enjoyment, enjoying spirit. This we have come to this material world, living such a wonderful life in the spiritual world, where everything is available in a very pure form. Somehow or other that desire arises because we have freedom for desires. Now also we have freedom for desires, and you can see how people are misusing that freedom. Everything is available. Even in this creation also, nice things are created by Krishna. But leaving aside all these things, they go into such wrong habits in the name of enjoyment. Not caring for the laws of this material world also. Knowing that it is going to cause me trouble, still they suffer. So this freedom has been given to us by God. It is our duty to use it properly. Because without the freedom, there is no question of love. And especially human form of life, there is more freedom to make choices. Animals don't have. They are not given access to many things also. Animals don't drink liquor. They don't, have the intoxications. Because there is no facility given for them, those things. But human form of life, you are given access to have more things, but also the intelligence is given. That freedom means we have to use intelligence to choose the right things. God has created the poison also and nectar also. Why poison is created? For those who want to be. Snakes. The snake is considered a symbol of envy. They want poison with them to harm others. So material world is basically to fulfill the living entity's desires. Whatever a person has desires, Krishna ultimately fulfills that. That's why this point, the dualities are there. Because some people want to do nonsensical things. The material nature supplies them those things. And they suffer also. That's how the material world works. There are laws created, and if you don't follow the laws, then there's sufferings also. To give them understanding that it is not good, but at the same time freedom is given. Because without that freedom, there is no question of love. But everybody wants freedom. Sometimes people think, why God has created all these things? God has created because people want it. Conditioned soul, he wants such things. That's what he has created. But he has not told you to have those things. Because one wants it, that's why things are there. The thorny bushes, the thorns, the particular tree body, he wants such kind of thorns. He has a desire to harm others. And that's why that same rainwater is taken by the thorny tree and produces thorns. And the same rainwater is taken by mango tree, it produces mango juice. So mango juice and thorny tree, same. So God is neutral in this aspect. He is not making you to produce the thorns, anybody. In spiritual world, there is no thorny bushes like that, harming others. There are no snakes having poison, harm others. Everybody is there to serve Krishna out of love and each others. That is kingdom of God. Here in this world, because people are having such kind of desires, the Maya creates all those facilities for them to realize ultimately that why to live such a miserable life. And Prabhupada says also, we also want to continue in this material world because we also have some material desires. And therefore we are stuck up into this material world. When our mind becomes completely purified from all unlawful desires, and we have spiritual desires, then Prabhupada said, no gentleman will want to stay in this place. Just like no gentleman will like to be in the jail with all those criminals. From the spiritual point of view, the real gentleman is the pure devotee of the Lord. He has no lust, no envy, no greed, no pride. So such person will not want to live in this material world, filthy place. And we all like to stay here. That means we also have some envy, greed, lust. Okay, we are better than the criminals, but still from the spiritual point of view, we are also like that. That's why this material world is called jail. Durga Devi is jailer. Durga means jail. This place is called Durga. Durga means jail. And Durga means jailer. So it's a jailer of this place. And you can see these people, they worship Durga to get more facilities with the same mentality to enjoy. And sometimes then Durga becomes very upset with them. When they break too many laws, then the worshippers are only killed by Durga, you can see. She doesn't spare them also, those who worship. Just like a jailer, he creates facilities for the criminals inside to take care of their basic needs of staying, fooding, medication, everything. So, purpose of jail is so that they get reformed and go out of the jail. But sometimes some people, they think, let me go to jailer and get some, worship him and get some better facilities. Like that they are going to Durga. Okay, give us some better facilities to stay in this material world. And then when they get it, they start misusing it, then Durga become angry on them. You know? But actually purpose of life is not to get better facility in the jail. Purpose of the jail is not that you stay in jail and you say, this room is not very good. I can get AC room, but in jail. From A class jail to B class jail, there are different class jails are there. No? Politicians are kept in A class jail. There is a better facility, there is a television, there is newspaper and everything is also. But it's a jail. It's suffering. So whether you are a big politician leader, President of India, or Prime Minister of India, or President of America, everybody is subjected to troubles in his life. Nobody is free. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi is there. Stressful situation, diseases are there. Everything is still fine. It's common to everyone. It's not that President of America doesn't fall sick, doesn't have health problems. It's not that they don't die. It's not that they don't grow old. You saw this flight accident happen and the Chief Minister of Gujarat was there in that. Along with other people, he It's not he was chief minister, oh, he cannot be. No, not. Whoever was there, everybody same treatment, right? So in the material world, there is no use of simply improving these material things. What we have to improve is the spiritual consciousness. And even if you are trying to improve the material things, ultimately you are alone. That's what Prabhupada is saying here. Nobody is there. We try to create facilities around us, a society of the friends and people. What Prabhupada is saying that friendship, society and love. No? We are working so hard to create these facilities around us. People bewildered by material conditions try to be united, but although they strive for unity among men and nations, their attempts are futile. Therefore, this verse indicates that 17th item soul must work alone. Although he tries to create society, friendship and love, no one will be able to help him but the Supreme Lord. All these people cannot help. When death comes, you have to go alone. Nobody can go along with you after death. Sometimes you are told to go alone someplace. How can I go alone? The children become afraid. I need my parents. I need somebody accompanying me. No. But after death, who is going to accompany a person? Even if two people die together, they are not going to be together. They don't know where they will go. Nobody is going to accompany. Everybody is on his own. Prabhupada says everybody has to fly his own plane. Look like that sometimes many birds are flying together. They look very united. You have seen? They go like this. Some birds, you have seen in the sky? They travel so fast all together. Seen that? Looks very nice, attractive, right? So wherever unity is there, it becomes very attractive. But then somebody shoots the one bird with a gun. What happens? He falls down. And rest others they are going on. What can they do about it? Similarly, we are going together, flying, my friends, my relatives, my society, everything is so nice, and then suddenly time comes, shoots one person, finished. Nobody can do anything, they just watch and may cry for some time. Some few minutes they may cry. This is harsh reality of this material world. But still everybody is busy in creating such situation around him that no, my friends, my relatives, my all family members, they will definitely save me. Doctors, my bank balance, everyone is working hard for these things. The harsh reality of this material world is when the time shoots, nothing will work out. But Bhagavatam Gita says, if you practice spiritual life, then you are actually in touch with God. And Krishna will be there always with you. Krishna is always there with you. Even if nobody is there, after death also, he accompanies. Super soul accompanies. But because a person is not God conscious, he cannot see God's presence. Although Krishna is there accompanying him. And therefore it's a very, very horrible experience. Death is very horrible experience. If you want to experience, understand that you voluntarily lose something, give up something. To give up the mobile also is so difficult for most people. One day you fast from mobile. How you feel? Death means fasting for everything. For next body you get. In next body also you don't get those things. Everything you leave aside. Your body, your home, your relatives, your belongings, everything, one shot, just separated. And how much person suffers? Can I understand? Garuda Purana says, the suffering is mentally so much, it is like 40,000 scorpions biting at a time. We lose some little money, or we lose some possessions or positions, people go in so much depression, constantly thinking about those things. What if you have to lose everything? And that's why they don't think about next life. It's too much for them to accept. The reason why people don't want to talk about next life, because it's very horrible just to think about those. But those who spiritually become advanced, they don't have fear of next life. They are prepared for it. That's why you'll find spirituality talks about it. Parishit Maharaj was not afraid because he was practicing spiritual life. Srila Prabhupada was not afraid when he was going on Jalduta. Even though he was nobody was with him. He got 2 heart attacks and everything. So without spiritual practices, our mind remaining absorbed in this material world with these complex material arrangements makes us give an illusory sense of security, but actually the situation is everybody is alone. There is no security in this material world. Ashashvatam. This is harsh reality of this material world. And Maya means she creates illusion because people want to remain in illusion. They don't want to see the realities. And why they are not want to see the realities? Because again the same, we have got some unlawful desires to act. Greed and envy and lust and lording over this material nature. Same tendencies we are still there. Spiritual life means to give up those false tendencies, unnecessary we are holding on them. And develop the right consciousness. What is the right consciousness? Is to serve. Selflessly serving, to love. Understand that nothing belongs to me in this material world. Why should I hold on? This material nature is a very, very complex, dangerous place. Why should I lord over this place? More one try to lord over this material nature, more one gets entangled in this material place. And this material world is very, very horrible place. Parabhavastavad abodhajata yavanna jigyasam atmatattvam. That those who are not inquiring about spiritual subject matter, they experience a big defeat at the time of death. Because throughout their life, their false ideas, hopes, making so many arrangements to create security and facilities around them, and suddenly one stroke everything is removed. So they are struggling. Whole material life is struggle to gather resources, to gather money, to get people around you, to create some secure situation. So that whole battle at the time of death, it ends with the big defeat. Because you cannot hold on all those things. One is defeated by the Maya ultimately. Parabhavastavad abodhajata. Parava means great defeat. So why to undergo such repeated defeats every time and suffer? That is intelligent person. Spiritual life means to end such unnecessary struggles and getting defeated by the illusion. Come to the reality. Our nature is to be always happy, Sachidananda. We don't have to undergo death. Death is experienced because of this tendency to lord over and possessing the material things and material body. When you get awakened to spiritual reality, you can again assume your spiritual body back, which is never dies, which never get diseased, never got old. But then we need to understand that nature of this body is to love and serve. When that loving service is awakened, the whole our consciousness is transformed into Krishna consciousness. Then you can experience the abundant love of Krishna, who is always our companion, our well-wisher. Some other by our unlawful desires, we consider God as our enemy or a competitor, whatever it is. But by awakening spiritual reality, we'll find a real security, what we are looking for, a real happiness, an eternal life, what we are looking for, live forever. So this is what is mentioned in this purport also. Prayers. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saying that, my dear Lord, I am your eternal servant. Somehow or other I have fallen into this ocean of nations, and although I am struggling very hard, there is no way I can save myself. If you kindly pick me up from this and fix up as one of the particle of dust at your lotus feet. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's prayer. Ainanda tanuja kinkaram patitam mam vishamigavam. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur also saying that anadi karma phale, Since long time, many lifetimes we have been struggling like this. There is no trace also. Karma phale, padi bhavar nava jale, tari bare na dekhi upay. And there is no way to come out. A vishaya halahale, the sense objects are like halahal vish, poison. Dibanishi hiya jole, day and night my heart is burning. And manakabu sukha nahi paye. Mind can never be satisfied in the material platform. And every time the Maya will make you feel that if you do this, get this material things, you will feel happy. That is the illusion. The mind can be happy when it's purified of these anarthas and engage in Krishna's service. Unless we are removing this greed and envy and lust, and the whole modern civilization is simply pump all these things. They always talk about this only. How much salary you are getting, how much sense gratification you are doing, how much big house you have, car you have. Simply trying to pump these anarthas, envy, greed, lust, pride, anger, all these things. Vedic life means reduce, remove all these things, purify. Thus, yasmas chuddhet, brahma saukhyam tanantam. As your mind becomes purified, then the real happiness will arise from the core of your heart. And that happiness doesn't depend on all this money and possessions what you are holding on. It's independent of that. Then you can utilize all these things to serve Krishna. Your mind remains free. Otherwise, we just become slaves of the mind and senses and struggle throughout our life to get more and more of the demands of the mind satisfied, and it never gets satisfied. Mana kabhu sukha nahi paye. Man can never be satisfied. No matter, even if you get the whole world, still dissatisfaction will be. Study the people who are having richest people. They study their consciousness. They themselves are stressful, miserable, dissatisfied people. Because material platform, there is no question of real happiness. As long as our mind is impure. So therefore, in this prayer also he says that, my dear Lord, please kindly deliver me. Anadi karma phale, padi bhavar nava jale, tari bare nade ki upay. I will just read and we will complete this. Bhaktivinoda Thakur's that prayer is very nice. Prabhupada's one of the favorite. When Prabhupada is singing from such, you can hear this from the core of his heart with a prayerful attitude. Anadi karma phale padi bhavar nama jale. हे नाथ, अनादिकाल से एकत्रित हुए मेरे कर्मों के फल से. Okay, English, I'll read English. I have fallen into the ocean of material existence as a result of my selfish activities, which are without beginning, and I see no means of deliverance from this great ocean of nations. Day and night my heart burns from the poison of these worldly activities, and on account of my mind never finds any satisfaction or happiness. Asha pasha sata shata kleshadeya avirata. प्रवृत्ति उर्मिर ताहे खेला, काम क्रोध आदि क्षय, बाट पाड़े देय भय, अवसान हाइलो असी बेला. Hundreds and thousands of desires like nooses around my neck. So many desires, material desires. Leaving the real desire to serve Krishna, we are cultivating so many material desires. Hundreds and thousands of desires like nooses around my neck constantly give me misery and trouble. In that great ocean of nations play the waves of materialistic tendency. In this world there are many thieves and rogues, of whom the six prominent are prominent. What are six prominent? Lust, anger, greed, envy, illusion and madness. They are causing me great fear, and in this way my life is coming to an end. Jnana karma ठग दुई मोरे प्रतार्य लोय अवशेष फेले सिंधु जले ए हेनो समये बंधु तुम्ही कृष्ण कृपा सिंधु कृपा कोरी तोल मोरे बले. The two highway robbers. What two highway robbers? Mental speculation and fruitive activity. And modern man is expert in speculating. All these medias and everything, they make you show that real, but they're all speculations from the spiritual point of view. They only speak some relative truth and earn your faith and deprive you from the real spiritual things. Your mind remains only absorbed into the information collecting things of this world. Prabhupada said information, and simply proud of information, and there is no transformation. So much knowledge is given and people become proud, but that basic knowledge is not there. I am not body, I am spirit soul. About oneself. And there is no realization, what to speak of knowledge also. The realization is not there. But knowledge is also not there. What to speak of realization? So these are two highway robbers, means they are simply speculating. The whole this material science is talking some relative truth as if ultimate truth, and they are simply speculating rest other things. Maybe there is no next life. Maybe there is no God. Maybe like this, maybe like that. All speculations. This is called two highway robbers. The mental speculation and fruitive activity. And work very hard, study to get more money. It is fruitive mentality. They don't understand that when you take birth, already your quota of enjoyment and misery is fixed for this particular life based on your previous karma. They make people work so hard unnecessarily when they are actually enjoy the same sufferings and miseries whatever their quota is. Fruitive mentality. And they also make fresh karma because of their desires which goes for their future life. Fruitive mentality means I will work very hard and I will get the fruits of action and I will enjoy. In modern times, they don't know also even how to perform proper fruitive activity. The right fruitive activity is according to Vedas. Follow in the Vedic directions to get a pious karma. The hard work what the modern man is propagating to get your fruits of your actions is false idea. Because you cannot get just by hard work unless you have done piety in your life. That's why everybody is struggling to get very high things just because of advertisements, and they give some, you do like this, you will get these things. Just like you get engineering admissions and you will get big jobs. What happens, actual reality is more than 50% people actually don't get jobs. But they are advertising like this, that you just work hard, then you will get money. But just working hard will not get, unless it is in your karma. Some people have done it, and that karma also corresponds it. That's why they are getting it. So whatever is one has got, it will come naturally in one's life. You don't have to struggle so much. But they are portray such a thing that everybody is unnecessarily working hard. You can see this IAS exam. Lakhs of people are appearing for it. How many seats are there? Only 100 seats are there. And so many people, so many years struggle. Even though they don't have capacity, lakhs of people. Everybody thinks I will get it. Because there is so much of competition, competitive spirit. Even though they don't have capacity, they go and do it. Why lakhs of people? For 106 lakhs of people are appearing it. And so much people undergo stress in the situations. So this whole material world already is complex place, and they are making more complex. Vedic system was not like this. Vedic system is people will understand in the Gurukul that this person, okay, you do like this, you do like this. Everybody be happy. Not everybody has to do the same thing. Not everybody wants to get into IIT. Everybody wants to be IAS. And after getting here also what they are doing? It's not that they are happy. After getting there, they don't know how to use the money, freedom. And then they're misusing it. Because they don't have knowledge about soul, knowledge about themselves, knowledge about how their greed, envy, and rather it is more greed, pride, making cause more suffer with more money in their hands. So he says, this speculation and fruitive activity have cheated me and misled me, and finally they are throwing me into the ocean of misery. At such time as this, my dear Krishna, you are my only friend, and you are the ocean of mercy and compassion. I have no strength to get out of this ocean of nations, so I pray to your lotus feet that you will be kind and by your strength uplift me from this ocean of suffering. Patita kinkara dhari pada padma kali dhuri deha bhakati vinoda ashraya amitava nitya dasa bhuliya mayara pasha baddha hoye achi dayamaya. Accept this fallen servant and fix me as a particle of dust on your lotus feet. Kindly give me shelter to this Bhaktivinoda Thakur. O most merciful Lord, actually I am your eternal servant, but having forgotten this, I have become bound up in the network of Maya. So only Krishna is the hope for conditioned soul. If we take shelter of Krishna, then one can come out of this, not by our own strength. So one who knows this science, that I am the way to get out of these sufferings. First of all, Maya's influence is so powerful, even though they are suffering. Pig is in the hog is in such a filthy place, still he is thinking I am happy there. That's another problem. But we can see how miserable is this pig is. But pig is in intoxicated state. Because he is enjoying sex life there, eating stool, fatty food, sleeping. In such a filthy place also he is feeling, okay, it's okay. So this is called Avaranatmaka Shakti. She covers our intelligence and everybody feels that, okay, all the sufferings are there, but he is not able to think of coming out. On one side they are dissatisfied, suffering, but still they are sluggish about spiritual life. That is how the Maya is. But inside heart burning, inside is burning, but still they become ऐसा है तो ऐसा है, इससे क्या होगा? Such an unfortunate situation in material world is everybody is undergoing. But somebody who is fortunate, he understands these truths and take shelter of Krishna firmly, pray, then he can come out of it. All our struggle, endless struggle, will end by taking to Krishna consciousness. Okay? Any questions?
Hare Krishna, any questions from online devotees?
Okay. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.